Another big-time Pac-12 opener, another brutal schedule, the toughest in the SEC Western Division, right here on MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. All right, everyone, MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football, here looking at Schedule 70 all the way up to number 1 as we rank them each and every offseason. We've made our way through most of it, and we are down to the final 5. The Auburn Tigers have the third most difficult schedule in the SEC. It's number 5 in college football, and it goes like this. Oregon is the opener, and of course Auburn knocked off what would eventually turn out to be the Pac-12 champion in Washington last year. They've got Oregon in Arlington, Texas, so a bit of a advantage in terms of the geography, but not by much, as the Auburn Tigers with a rookie quarterback, whether it's Joey Gatewood or Bo Nix, will take on Justin Herbert and the Ducks. Should be a good one, August 31st. And then they ease up against Tulane and Kent State. Those games on September 7th and 14th. All right, difficult back-to-back against Texas A&M on the road, September 21st. And then also Mississippi State, September 28th. And then Florida, October 5th. 3 consecutive difficult games in conference for Auburn, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Florida. Wow, they could potentially be 2-4 at that point. Even if they split with the difficult teams, they're looking at 2 losses right out of the gate just as they enter October. They've got a bye week before Arkansas, October 19th, and they've go to LSU on October 26th, which has, of course, been one of the key matchups in the Western Division for quite some time. Auburn at LSU, and the Tigers, meaning the LSU Tigers, upset Auburn last year when Auburn was supposed to be the better team. The Tigers came in from LSU and beat Auburn on the Plains. Ole Miss and Auburn get together November 2nd on the Plains as well. Then there's a bye week before a difficult stretch run that Auburn has to face on a yearly basis. And, of course, the oldest rivalry in the South, the Deep South, belongs to Auburn and Georgia. And in recent years, this has been a difficult test for the Tigers. They did beat Georgia 2 years ago before losing to them in the SEC championship game. They were knocked around by Georgia last year by a couple touchdowns. They've got Georgia at home on November 16th. Then they've got the annual scrimmage game, Samford this time around November 23rd before the Iron Bowl, and one of their worst losses in recent years by 31 points to Alabama in 2018. So, why is this schedule so tough? Oregon, that says enough right there. A top 10 to 15 team in the country in the non-conference. And despite not playing anybody else in the non-conference, that's typical for an SEC Western Division foe. So everyone in the SEC Western Division plays one Power 5 and nobody else. And Auburn plays outside of Texas A&M and Clemson, the most difficult of all of those Power 5 matchups. What it really comes down to for Auburn is playing in the SEC Western Division, number 1. Number 2, playing the most difficult draw in the SEC East. Not just this year, but the most difficult draw possible that could be scheduled. Georgia and Florida. And they've got to go to Gainesville the first weekend of October. It's the third most difficult schedule in the SEC. It's number 5 in college football. It belongs to the Auburn Tigers. And let's see, back in April, we projected Auburn to go 8-4. 4-4 in the SEC. 4-4 in the SEC, 8-4 overall. Guess who's going to win the Oregon-Auburn game, at least as of my projection back in the spring. We'll be back with our final predictions before the season openers, the final weekend of August. Would love to hear what you have to say about Auburn football, the record for 2019, and chances in the SEC Western Division. Right here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football.